Welcome at It's Never Too Far Away. In this video I'm passing through the new international terminal at Santiago de Chile in transit. I had seen a nice ticket from Cape Town to Sao Paulo with a connection through Istanbul, so I was on the final leg of that trip. While in South America, I really wanted to make sure I do not miss to pay the brand new terminal in Santiago a visit. Therefore, I flew in from Sao Paulo and departed to London a few hours later. What you see here right after landing is actually the older part of the airport, which is now used for domestic flights. A short while later, my aircraft pulled in to park at the new terminal. I took this trip in March 2023. This terminal had just been opened during the year before. Let's go in, following the signs for connecting passengers. The signs are easy to follow. It is a long walk, so I put up the speed a little bit. Arriving passengers do get a great view to the apron. However, departures are behind this wall you can see on the left. Therefore, in the departures lounge, there's no way to stand close to the window. Those people crossing in the background are boarding their flight from departures. I arrived at the end of the pier, making this corridor a bit longer. The walk will then continue behind the marked wall. Finally arriving at the end of that corridor. Definitely by now time to take a leak. The bathrooms offer enough space and they are very clean. This point connects the corridor I came through with the one from the opposite pier. In my case, I turn left and then there's more walking to do. Finally, I am approaching the area where immigration or the transit point are located. This sign is also clear, transit to the left. After completing a security check, it is finally time to go up to departures level. First thing there is the opportunity for some duty-free shopping. Now is a good time to look at where we actually are. T1 on the upper right is the older part now used for domestic flights. I had arrived at the end of Pier C and I was now somewhere close to where you see the red dot with the marking T2. Next, from the central area, I will explore Piers D and F first and then C and E. Once again, navigation is made easy by the clear signs. One area right here, there's actually not too much in it. Of course, there's also an arcade with shops and restaurants. Now heading to the wing that has the piers D and F. Not too much here. Basically, the connections between the central area and the piers are just empty corridors. Windows on both sides allow lots of daylight. This side showing street access to the terminal, and this side is the somehow obstructed view to the apron. Heading now into the actual pier. You can see many window panes are actually filled with non-transparent metal panels. This is a feature throughout the piers, and it does not make looking outside easier. It looks like a glass wall is splitting the pier in two halves. There is some space for shops, but none of it appears occupied. Anyway, I realize I'm all alone and I have not seen a person for quite a while. Next should have been F, but that pier was actually completely closed. Well, then back to the central area. Next should be C and E. Not surprising, things look pretty similar to what we have seen. However, on this side there is an information point and a restaurant between the access points to each pier. Heading first to E. In the corridor, big windows point to street side. Toward the apron you have those narrow windows. I spent some time there to do some plane spotting, as that is the best window opportunity for that. Flights were being handled on this side, so there was a lot more activity. I cannot feature it here due to copyright issues. Throughout this area and in the piers, slow piano or classical music was being played from speakers. JetSmart, by the way, is the low-cost carrier based in Santiago. Even though the windows are a bit awkward, I enjoyed some nice spotting from here. Let's enter E. First, crossing one of those corridors used by arriving passengers. With this part of the airport in use, the shopping space is occupied and mostly opened. It's always good when there's an area for children to play. Also in departure areas, toilet rooms are clean and offer enough space. It is common across South America that aircraft from North America are parked throughout the day. Also, the aircraft taking me to London later is already there, sitting idle. This Iberia bound for Madrid is being pushed back. From inside the pier, this was the best place I could find to take pictures. To capture these views, I had to go back to the corridor that has those narrow windows. To complete the tour, we still have to go to sea. Having been to all the different corners, I'm still not so sure what to say. Certainly, there's always something cool about those brand new airport terminals, but I'm just not sure whether I should be happy with the design in this case. One thing I certainly do not like is how the outside view is always obstructed. By the way, this is the aircraft taking me later to London, being towed in right here. It is parking right beside the aircraft that brought me here. For me, this one is certainly a great shot. Now close to my gate and again not really able to look outside. I was actually departing from sea, and right there at the end of the pier was another play area. This concludes the tour. While I was not really happy with parts of the design, of course passing through this new facility was very pleasing and very convenient. As always at this point, many thanks for watching. And don't forget, it's never too far away.